Welcome to the podcast about venture capital, where investors and founders alike can learn how VCs make decisions and reach conviction. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome back to TFR for a special installment of Investor Stories. In this segment, the investors tell a story about some of the most odd and unusual situations they've ever encountered as investors. This is the segment called The Strange and Unusual. On today's special segment, we have David Goldberg of Alpaca. David, what is the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable startup pitch you've received?
I'll tell you one that I just got 2 weeks ago. Someone slid into my DMs on Twitter and first kind of creeped me out a little bit. And he's like, "Hey, what's your address?" I was like, "What? Like, who is this? What platform did I just go on?" He's like, "No, well, instead of sending you a cold pitch, I wanted to just sort of show you what we do. We basically have this national network of drone pilots. And if you give me your address anywhere in the country, I can get you live street video and photography and aerial photography within 24 hours. I'm like, "Okay, that's pretty cool." I gave it to him within a couple hours. Like, I had videos in my inbox. Like, I saw my car in the driveway. And so basically, just tapped on demand, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wow. On this special segment, we have Ben Sun of Primary Venture Partners. Ben, what's the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable startup pitch you've received?
The strangest or most memorable?
Everybody's favorite. We've heard about some doozies.
To be honest with you, I still think the Slice one is an amazing one, just because I'll give you the lineage of how I actually really found out about it. Wiley Sorelli, who at the time, who I knew and I'm friends with, he was a venture partner at First Round Capital. We've done deals with First Round, and we'll collaborate and say, "Hey, what are you looking at?" Wiley was the first person that told me about Slice. And I remember when Wiley was trying to explain it to me, I had a little notebook, and I was like, I think in my notes I wrote, "I think Wiley is smoking crack." But then, Wiley's like, "You should just meet this guy." I was like, "All right, let me meet this guy." Then I met Alir, and he told me he was, making $3 million of profit. And I was like, okay, he wasn't smoking crack. So anyway, I think that's a funny one, and at least a nod to Wiley for helping me find Slice.
On today's special segment, we have Sunai Shirota of World Innovation Lab. Tsune, what's the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable pitch you've received?
I would mention a pitch by Phil Libin, who was the ex-CEO of Evernote and now the CEO of a company called MMH. We are an investor there. And the product allows you to be creative in video. So video is the primary interface of communication in this world, and it continue to be in the hybrid world going forward. Some people are in person, the other people are dialing in. Regardless, video stays as a key part of the communication. And the pitch he made was through his product, right? And this product, it's so hard to explain. Like, if it's video, like I would show you, but it basically, allowed you to be creative in expressing yourself and positioning yourself right and highlighting the slides and communication points that you want to emphasize. And he did that. He did so in a way that really grabs attention, and everyone wants to use the product. So it's a little hard to explain without
everyone
a visual.
Says,
exactly.
Interesting.
And the vision is compelling. His vision is that the live and online, in person and online, that boundary was blurring, and live and recorded, that was strict in the past, but that's blurring too. and that requires new experience from the software. And he's creating a new category.
On today's special segment, we have Amy Nauiokas of Anthemis. Amy, what's the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable startup pitch you've received?
Oh, gosh. I think there's probably two. Well, one that comes. I was pitched at one point. Apparently there's a fur on the antlers of reindeer that if you take it off and scrape it into a jar and do something to it, it becomes an aphrodisiac. And so I was pitched reindeer fur aphrodisiac once, and that was pretty memorable.
Wow.
But probably, the other one's kind of within the financial services realm. We did have a pitch, company will remain nameless, and they're doing well, which is great for them. Hopefully they took some solace in this meeting, but they came in and pitched us. They'd already had about 15 of their employees booked. And they were pitching this idea for what they were going to do. And it was a consumer product. And it was myself and a female colleague and every single person that they had hired. And I gave them a chance. I kept saying, so, and who's this person? And what do they do? Every single person they'd hired, 15 people. So it's not like they had 2 people, 15 people. They hadn't hired one woman or one person of color yet. And so I asked them, hey, I'm just curious, do you have any interest in selling this product to women or people of color? And they kind of looked at me like, well, of course. In fact, women are probably going to be the major, driver of all of our economics. And I was like, don't you think you might want to think about hiring one like anytime soon? And it was like, didn't even occur to them that they were sitting there pitching 2 women with nobody representing on their employee base. And so that was fairly memorable, but I think it stuck because I happen to know that the company has done a great job of diversifying their senior leadership team and their board, certainly since that conversation. So hopefully it made an impact. I don't know.
It's so funny. Over the past decade or so, I feel like I've gotten that pitch a number of times from like 2 white males, and they're doing the women's social network or the women's makeup line or something. And it's like, really? Really?
Really? Yeah.
That will conclude this installment of Investor Stories. If you're enjoying the program and would like to see it continue, take a moment and leave a 5-star review in iTunes. Also, if you'd like updates on new content from TFR, as well as the top 10 VC articles every week, go to fullratchet.net and sign up for the newsletter. Okay, that will wrap things up for today. Until next time, over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for joining me.